What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, we all know that Brett Favre receives media protection. We've seen it recently. Just when the Brett Favre scandal, as far as he and his cronies in Mississippi stealing approximately $80 million that was supposed to go to the neediest families in Mississippi, stealing it for their own personal usage as far as business ventures is concerned. Just when that story about to take off, all of a sudden you see a months-old story about Antonio Brown acting lewdly in a pool, more acceptable and comfortable stories involving black athletes so we can demonize them for crimes that on the surface really aren't as heinous. Kyrie Irving for sharing a link to a movie that, that's just an unforgivable crime on so many levels. It's Amir Doka having sex outside of his marriage. These are just crimes that are just unforgivable by society, and I'm not understanding why we're not demanding the death penalty for these crimes. Now, am I saying these things are right? Absolutely not. No, they're not right. Well, when it comes to Amir Doka, that's not right. But sharing a link to a movie, let's really start thinking about this again. Sharing a link to a movie is as egregious as stealing tens of millions of dollars that the government has doled out to help people who are in need. Not only that, taking money that you falsely raised for charity and cancer patients and taking it and then taking that money and giving it to your alma mater? What bizarro world are we living in? But anyway, we know he gets protected. ESPN has all of these stories at their disposal, but they choose not to talk about this on air. Just like they chose not to talk about the woman that accused him of sexual harassment, or the fact that Brett Favre for many years had a drug problem. They choose not to talk about that because they didn't want to ruin his image. But anyway, Greg Jennings, and I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Greg Jennings, who spent 7 seasons as Aaron Rodgers' teammate, Brett Favre's successor in Green Bay, appeared on The Carton Show on Wednesday and dropped a bombshell. Jennings said that Brett Favre constant avoiding criticism and blaming others. Now, who does that sound like? Constantly avoiding criticism and blaming others. Other than the fact that it sounds like Aaron Rodgers, right? But who else that sound like? Oh, man, don't that sound like a certain guy from Akron? But anyway, Brett Favre's constant avoiding criticism and blaming others wore on his teammates toward the end of his Green Bay tenure. And that included a young Aaron Rodgers. In fact, Rodgers swore he would never become that person, but apparently, fame, praise, he has become that person. A guy that doesn't like to get criticized, but loves to share the blame toward others. But this is what we're talking about. Brett Favre was the ultimate prima donna, but he doesn't get portrayed as that. He gets portrayed as this gunslinging hero, whereas LeBron James, who does possess these same qualities, people look at him negatively and call him a prima donna, when Brett Favre, to be honest with you, at this point, at this juncture, LeBron James has more moral fiber than Brett Favre. I've never seen LeBron be accused of stealing millions of dollars that's supposed to go to hungry kids. You know how many kids go to sleep with fucking screaming hungry bellies? I'm talking about kids, man. I'm not talking about adults who can get a job. I'm talking about children. Children. He stole money from cancer patients. Wake up! Who cares about a damn link? I'm just sick of the media, man. This ain't got nothing to do with race or none of that shit. It's fairness. If this had been LeBron James doing the same damn thing, I don't give a fuck what nobody would call me. I would ask for that motherfucker to be in prison. Period. And we know it will be his ass be in prison. Because when that nutsy WNBA player accused him of extortion, everybody made a video about that shit. Even though we knew she was lying. Where did she get $30 million from? The people threw LeBron James on the bus anyway. So if there was actually something LeBron James did that was like this, it'd be all over fucking social media and the news would not stop talking about it. But this guy's being protected. And he's not going to go to jail. He's not. None of his cronies are going to go to jail. Even though they admitted through text messages that they knew what they were doing and they knew that it was wrong. But meanwhile, you and I, if we were found guilty of taking $400 in welfare money or whatever, our ass is going to jail. Black, white, whatever. Our ass going to jail. So that's what pisses me off about this story. The arrogance of rich people. They think that we're stupid. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.